Hey everybody, it's Rob. We're back doing another Hack the Box walkthrough and another retired machine called Legacy. It's a Windows machine and it's rated as easy, and it was fairly easy. So there's really only one way to go on this box, and you'll see what I mean when we get to the Nmap scan. So without further ado, you can see I am on Hack the Box's VPN, and I do have Legacy spun up. Here is the IP address, and we did a um, Nmap scan. Service version detection T4 aggressive on the IP address, most common ports. So if you look, not a whole lot going on there. It looks like we have SMB and that's about it. So there's some more information here. This is an oldie but goodie because this looks like it's possibly a Windows XP machine. So I tried to do something simple like SMB map, and then the IP address, the host is the IP address. And they basically said no soup for you. So there was no shares that were popping up as being out there, right? So the next thing that we can do is, if you guys are not familiar, Nmap has some really good uh, SMB vulnerability scripts that you can run. So they're always located in Etsy, not in Etsy, in user share Nmap scripts. And you can see what's there by doing an ls and then grep, which means you want to see anything that contains SMB. Okay. So we're just doing an ls. We're piping the output to grep saying, hey, just show us the SMB stuff. And there we go. So I want to run pretty much all these to see what we have available, if anything, on SMB. We don't really care about most of this other stuff. Okay. So how can we run all those scripts? Very simply, we do a sudo nmap, and then we do tac script. And what we do is smb vuln star. So what that will do is it will basically pull that vuln and run all of these scripts that I have highlighted. Anything that's got the smb-vuln, it'll run. And then we really only want to run it on port 445, right? And that should tighten up how long it takes. Okay, so let's hit enter and see what comes back. May take a second. Okay, so it looks like we have a vulnerability to a couple of things. It looks like SMB MS17010. I think that's that might be. Is that Eternal Blue? No, it can't be Eternal Blue because this is a Windows XP machine, which I'm pretty sure is 32-bit, unless there's a 64-bit, but I don't think so. I believe that's Eternal Blue. I'm not 100% sure. This is I tried the very first one. So MS 067. So I think what we're going to do is let's search on that, see what comes up. Metasploit. So we're going to have to use Metasploit. All right, so we're going to open up a console, or we're going to type MSF console to start the Metasploit framework. I've been trying to avoid Metasploit because I'm studying for the OSCP, but there's sometimes where it's just, I mean, you can use it once on the OSCP plus exam, so I don't want to forget how to use it. So as soon as we get a prompt, okay, let's see if we can just search on that MS and see if anything comes up. Oh yeah. It's really only one. Okay, and it's MS 0867 And it basically, these are all the targets. So it'll do Windows Server 2003 and Windows XP. Okay, so we go use 0. So we're into that module. Now we type options. And it looks like I got to set a couple of things here. We're going to need to fix our lhost IP address because right now it's using my internal IP address. I needed to use the VPN internal IP address is the lhost. So the way you do that, in your case, I don't know what your VPN interface is called, but typically it's ton0. So you can, just a reminder, the lhost and lport are your attack machine IP address and port that the listener is going to be on, and Metasploit takes care of the listener, so you don't have to do anything with that. So we're going to go set lhost, and I'm just going to put ton0, and you can see it now has the correct IP address. The other thing we have to set is the rhost, and we need to set that to the IP address, which is this. Okay, so now we'll type options one more time just to make sure. And it looks like we have automatic targeting. This is going to give us a interpreter shell, reverse TCP. And we have our host set and our port is 445, which is correct. Everything looks good. So we're going to type exploit. Detecting the target. Sending stage, that's a good sign. Okay, we have our interpreter session. So we can do sysinfo. And it is an x86 Windows XP. So there's no way that Eternal Blue would work on this. At least I don't know of any version of any kind of Eternal Blue that runs on that older system like that. So that would not have been the case. So let's see who we are, get UID. And we're in T-Authority system. So that means we can do shell. And then we can do cd-c, because I forget what the XP structure even looks like. Oh yeah, so we got to go into documents and settings. So cd, and I think I can do that with a colon. Documents and settings. And let's see what happens. Nope, that is not going to work. Documents and oh, it helps if you spell it correctly. Duh. CD documents and settings, not steadings. There we go. Okay, now we can do a dir, and it looks like there's a John user and an administrator. So you know, hack the box. There's 2 flags. So let's go cd John, cd desktop, dir. Okay, type user.txt. There's the user flag. Then we can cd dot dot, cd dot dot, and we go cd administrator. And then we do cd desktop. And then we do dir. And we do type root.txt. And there is the root flag. So overall, this was a fairly easy machine. There was really only one option. It was SMB or bust because there was no other vulnerabilities that I could see. If you get used to using the Nmap scripting engine, because it is really useful. And in cases like SMB, it really works well. I use it for a lot of stuff. Listen, it's not perfect. It doesn't always find stuff, but you know, in this case, it told us exactly what to try. And I tried the very first one that popped up and it worked. So I hope you found this video useful. I hope you learned something. I will include any links that I might have referenced in the description below. And if you have any questions, comments, or criticisms, feel free to drop them below and I will engage and we can have a conversation. All right, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.